In this breaking story, Donald Trump's daughter just publicly snapped in an unhinged Christmas Eve meltdown. That's right, it's not just Trump, but anyone with the last name Trump who appears to be unhinged. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Merry Christmas. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season. Of course, Trump is not. For one, he's losing one of his biggest supporters, Joe Rogan.
I think it was, I don't. These days you don't know what's has to be confirmed or not, but it looked like on the Kennedy Center, they started putting the name Trump on it.
Yeah, he added his name to it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he took out the Kennedy Rose Garden. And you're like, what?
Oh,
just take it away. Now it's like a cement
nutty.
plot.
There's nothing nuttier than the plaques underneath the president's
That's insane.
names.
That's insane.
Shane and I were just reading them the other day.
It's
we're
insane.
Like, how is this real?
It doesn't feel real. And
Well,
you're just like,
how are you allowed to do that? That's the thing. It's
I
like,
think
how is he allowed to write that
in
on
the
those
White
plaques?
House? You can just probably, as president, do what you want in the White House.
Turns out you obviously can.
Yeah.
But nobody ever did it before.
Those are going to get taken down.
No, they'll be up forever.
I don't think so.
They're going to leave it like that forever.
No way.
Yeah, like a museum piece.
It's so crazy.
They should have like the Trump wing. This is what happened when he was president.
Look at this lunatic.
The auto pen photo of Joe Biden.
And the actual what's written there is crazy.
Crazy.
This is
It should
widely considered the worst president of all. Like, what are you talking about?
It should be like a museum.
Yeah.
It should be the facts of his presidency, what happened during his term, you know, the Iraq war started and da-da-da.
Yeah.
It should be that.
Of course.
That's it. If that, you know.
And under Reagan, it's like Reagan liked Trump, and Trump liked him too.
Trump was a fan of Reagan. What?
Why is that relevant?
Reagan was a fan of Trump. What?
And yet Joe Rogan is not alone. More and more Republicans are revolting by the day.
I voted once for Donald Trump in 2016. I fell for the propaganda. I watched Fox News. I've learned that the right-wing media is nothing but a propaganda machine. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me every damn day, it's a cult.
And for just like the Republican voters, right, across America who maybe feel like, I've always voted Republican, what would you want to say to those folks?
Step over to your nearest mirror, look yourself in the eye, and ask yourself if the principles, the words, the actions, the behaviors of this administration are actually in line with the teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus would have stood with the vulnerable and marginalized. He would not have deported them. He would not have persecuted them. He would, he literally stood with the prostitutes and the lepers and the poor, and he wasn't out there selling, saying, Peter, let me, I'm not going to do any more miracles unless you, invest in my Jesus meme coin. He was literally serving the poor.
But now Trump's daughter just had a public meltdown all over this. Take a look at this breaking story.
Gears rather dramatically here and talk about this Supreme Court ruling that has just come down related to Illinois and the National Guard not being allowed to go out into Chicago. We've seen ICE agents there in that area facing outright assaults. It's really been a difficult situation for our federal agents. Here's the Supreme Court decision. At this preliminary stage, the government has failed to identify a source of authority that would allow the military to execute the laws in Illinois. But Justice Alito has a dissent, and he writes that whatever one may think about the current administration's enforcement of immigration laws or the way ICE has conducted its operations, the protection of federal officers from potentially lethal attacks should not be thwarted. And of course, that brings me, I think, of Texas, where in fact there was a lethal attack. Unfortunately, some detainees were actually killed in the Texas assault, and ICE agents facing assaults all across the country. Your thoughts on this ruling and where things go from here?
I mean, I think it's such a shame, obviously. You hate to see a ruling like this because our ICE officers around the country have seen an increase of 1,000% in assaults on them. And this is bigger than just the ICE agents. These are men and women out there putting their lives on the line every day, trying to do the right thing and enforce the law. This isn't anything that should be crazy to anyone. It's the laws of the land and the laws as they're written in the books right now. They're just simply trying to enforce it. They've been demonized by the Democrats and the mainstream media. That's why these men and women take take their lives in their hands every single day when they go out to do a job. But this is also about the people of cities like Chicago, which is the #1 city for homicides for 13 years running now. It seems like the leadership in Illinois and Chicago doesn't really care about their citizens. Look at what this president was able to do in Washington, D.C. when he sent the National Guard troops in. And Muriel Bowser, the mayor there, even embraced it and said, you know what, it works. Our streets are safer, people feel better, our citizens are happier and can live life to the fullest. That's what this president wants to see happen. And I think the Supreme Court ruling is a shame. It seems like more of the courts blocking what this president is trying to do to help the American people. But I'll tell you what, it won't stop him. He's going to continue on because he ultimately wants the right thing to happen.
Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.